I am endlessly fascinated by people. You can study forever, never get bored by it. It's incredible. Now, I've learned a couple things along the way when it comes to engaging with your product, with your business, with your service, when you're asking people to use it, to come back, to engage. I've also discovered something very similar that deals with that when it comes to selling, when it comes to making a sale, when it comes to asking someone to make a purchase. There's something here that ties this stuff together, and it has to do with motivation. All right, when somebody has a high level of motivation, when they want to use what you've got, when they're motivated to make themselves better, for example, and you have a gym, that moment you want to ask that person to do something difficult. Whether that means it's a high purchase, a high price point purchase, or if it's something that's really tough when it comes to engagement. For example, if you've got a digital product, signing up for a digital product in the grand scheme of things can be one of the hardest points along the way. So when somebody's got a high level of motivation, boom, make the sign up happen. If you've got a high price point sale along the way too, when that happens, put it close to sign up. That motivation is going to carry someone through to break through the friction of that. So you can combine those things is when you've got a high level of motivation of a client or customer, combine that with a high price point purchase or something that requires a lot of difficulty. If someone has a low level of motivation, okay, so this is the opposite side of that, low level of motivation, ask them to do small things, ask them to do easy things, ask them to make small purchases. Because what happens is, and you might have felt this, like if you're around the house, don't really feel like doing anything, you're just lazy, kind of couch potatoing up. As soon as you start to do one small thing, so if you can just get yourself to get up, for example, and wipe a counter, before you know it, you're going to be going to the next thing and the next thing, and the next thing, and then you're kind of just rolling with it. You're going. You're doing all kinds of stuff. So when you have low motivation, ask somebody. So that might be somebody that hasn't used your product in a while. They've been disengaged. They're not doing it, or somebody that doesn't have really any incentive to buy from you. They're not motivated. See if you can get them to make a small purchase. See if you can have that person, like if you're doing a digital product, see if you can have that person just sign back in. Very simple stuff. Get them just to come back in, do something very small. Then that momentum will grow, and then that motivation grows along with it, and then you can ask them to do harder things. So recap this here. When it comes to engagement, use of something that you're offering, whether that's a product or a service, when it comes to purchase of what you're offering, do make the big ask when there is high motivation. When you have a low motivation, do a small ask when it comes to both the engagement and when it comes to the sale. Do the small ask when the motivation is low.